But we're going to move on to another story this morning, and sporting events should ditch sponsorship from nutritional supplements and sports drinks companies, according to the Journal of Medical Ethics. It claimed such sponsorship deals could be misleading the public about the true benefits of such products. Now, Laurent Bannock is the director of Guru Performance Limited and joins me now. Now, you're obviously an expert, you work in this field. Do you rate such products like sports drinks and things like that?
Well, I do, but then again, I work a lot with professional teams and athletes, but I think it's a question of context. Who are we even talking about here? And I think it is a little misleading because most people are not elite athletes. Most people don't spend hours of every day. In fact, most people don't spend hours of every week. So they don't really need these products, which may be justified in that sort of situation.
So these calls by the Ethical Journal for Medicine saying that we should ban sponsorship by these companies at things like, the marathon or the Great North Run, such things like that, where it's a very public event and there's people doing sports who, like you say, aren't athletes. Do you back that?
Well, I don't sort of get involved in that side of things, but I think it is, the sponsorship does tend to mislead people, but then someone's got to sponsor the event. So if it's not them, it could be a fast food issue, or it could be a car manufacturer or whatever. I mean, the fact is they need sponsorship.
I mean, what are the effects, though, if people drink those drinks or have those shock blocks, whatever they might be, when you don't necessarily need them?
Well, I mean, on average, there's no negative effect directly. Indirectly, it might be you're consuming just a whole lot more energy than you're expending. So ironically, the consequence could be you just get overweight as a result, or you might be a little overstimulated. There can be huge amounts of caffeine in some of these products, and that might affect your sleep the night, that night, or which ironically can affect your appetite, and you end up eating more. I mean, they're not dangerous per se, so I don't think people need to get worried. There are very rare occasions where, of course, someone does have a fatality, dropping dead in a marathon, that sort of thing, and that's usually due to hydration issues or overstimulated. They just push too hard until they drop. That's extremely rare. I think the problem, though, is the misleading inference that they're somehow good for you. And just because you saw an elite athlete, pro football player taking it, the fact that you sit in an armchair all day doesn't kind of justify your need for these products. And I think that's kind of the problem that we have. So
what would you very quickly recommend then to the average worker, person going to the gym, not to just simply grab one of those drinks or whatever it might be?
Well, it's a good question, and I don't like to call myself a sports nutritionist. I like to call myself a performance nutritionist. So whether I'm working with an athlete or someone such as yourself, we want to perform at our best. The way to do that is to eat healthily, quality, unprocessed food, get some good sleep, and be active. Those are kind of the sort of like our mantra is eat, train, think. You've got to be sensible, but keep it real, keep it natural, whatever that means. But food first is pretty much, the best way.
Laurent, thank you very much for coming in this morning.